y'all.
Hi. You sound all excited about life on a Friday.
I'm really excited that my kid is leaving for a month on Sunday to go to camp. And I have a new shirt today. So yeah, I guess I am kind of excited about life.
Yeah. All right. I gotta get back to the screen to see this new shirt.
It's very cute. It's very bright fuchsia.
I love fuchsia. I love color. So
yeah, color is fun.
Color is fun. Jessica, you haven't colored your hair in a while.
I haven't, mostly because my kids been coloring their hair all over the place. There's only room for one amount of colored hair. Like, it's a lot.
That's so funny.
Well, we did teal at Christmas, and then we did blue, and then we've done pink. Yeah, so...
How'd y'all get teal? Like, that's a hard color to get.
That one is a hard one.
I mean, like, there's teal color. Like, it's...
Oh.
But it always washes out on me and my daughter's hair. Every time we do teal, it like washes out within 2 days. Even professional teal. Like, I can't get with ours. Purple is good. I don't know if it's like hair type, but purple is good. Blue is good, but that teal-y green.
She's blonde. And so...
we have to bleach her.
Yeah. So I think that's part of it, but it holds on to the blue really well.
Wow.
That might be
Okay. All right. Well, learned something new today about hair color. So, and I do like your new fuchsia shirt. So it's nice. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Today we're talking about why initiating sex feels so hard.
Yes.
And I think the thing is, I'm hold on. I don't know if this is a true statement or not. Or it's just I have a skewed perspective of life because of the clients that I see. But I want to venture to say a lot of people probably feel that initiating sex in a long-term committed relationship sometimes is even harder than like when you're single and dating and figuring out how to initiate for the first time. 100%. Okay, y'all would say that too?
100%.
Yeah. And so it is so interesting because I don't know. It's just one of those oxymoronic things that you would like.
No, I absolutely know why. You want to know why?
Yes.
So the thing is I actually talked to my clients about this because they were wanting sex more organically. And I was like, okay, the only way to do that is to raise your arousal levels everywhere. Because when you're dating, you think about when you're getting together and you plan your outfit and you get ready and you take a shower and you prep your bed and you prep all of these things. We do all of that process, which is arousing us for what we're coming. And then we get pissed off when we have to do it in a marriage because we still have to do it. It's just not as fun.
Yeah.
And it's ongoing, right? When we're dating, it's like, oh, this is really exciting. It's new. Like, I'm spending the time, but you've been married for 12 years and who's going to change the sheets? Who's going to
do laundry?
Hey, take a shower. Like, it's just a lot of steps.
Yeah. A lot of steps. I feel like dating is like a sprint. You have these like bursts of energy and you can just do it. Like it's no problem to stay on the phone to 3 o'clock in the morning. Like you're tired the next day, but like you wear it like a badge of honor. And then the long-term committed relationship is like a marathon in which you are yet holding on.
Yeah.
There's this meme that I used the other day of this lady who's like crawling across the finish line, and I think sometimes that's what relationships can feel like. Long-term committed relationships can feel like. That like it's just a lot of energy that has been spent already. And so trying to initiate can feel really hard. So if you're in a long-term committed relationship and it's feeling hard for you, first, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. 2, it's normal. I'm going to normalize it for you. You're not abnormal because it's feeling hard. 3, if you are, switching topics, if you're not in a long-term committed relationship and it's feeling hard for you, it's normal. It's okay. We're doing a lot. We're putting ourselves out there. And so what comes with it many times is the risk of rejection. I want something and I might not be able to get it from this person who I really want it from. or do it with. And so it is hard to do. And it's always so interesting sometimes when I ask the clients the numbers, like, okay, out of the last 10 times you've initiated, how many times you've been rejected? 2. Okay, so you're successful 80% of the time?
That's pretty good. I'd play those odds, right?
Right. And when we say it like that, okay, but it's just like, oh, but those 2 times really hurt. And so often the pain can stay with us so much longer than the positives. So all right, what do you guys hear people talking about with the rejection and why it hurts so much and all around that?
I mean, I think rejection feels more personal, of like, I am rejecting you in your entirety and all of your being and your body, and all of it is trash. And that is never what anybody says. I mean, unless you're in an abusive relationship. Right. But that's how it feels. And so, like, a lot of the work that we do is like trying to give communication skills to, like, I love you and I love your body and I love the intimacy that we have together. I do not want the act of sex because I, in my body, do not feel good or am not prepared and will not enjoy the act of sex.
Right. At this time, like, for whatever reason. And there seems like there's this like pervasive thought that's like unhealthy, you guys. It's not helpful. I won't say it's unhealthy. I was going to say it's not helpful. The thought that because I want sex now, that my partner should want it with me now. And so, like, that's not helpful at all. And so I want couples having lots of conversations around desire and timing, and realize, kind of go back to when you're dating. When you date, you guys are really both agreeing to show up at the same time in the same energetic space with the same energy that we're going to connect and be with each other. And so it's really intentional.
Yeah, it is. And all dates do not end in sex.
Yes. Yes. That's good. And so it's okay to bring that same intentionality into a long-term committed relationship. Of like, how do we show up at the same time in the same space with the same energy, as opposed to, I have energy now, why don't you have energy right now? Or because you don't have energy for sex right now, like Jessica was saying, okay, that means something about me, because you should, I don't know. I think it's like, you should see me and want me. Like, you should want to have sex with me all the time, no matter what's going on. No matter what kind of work day I had or what kind of food I've eaten, like, you should see me and want me. And I've seen that kind of, I want to say, from both sexes, actually, you know, of that. You should see me and want me, with no kind of regard to what the other person could be going through or dealing with or anything. And so, yeah, it's so interesting. Pain levels, that's, you know, like, it's real. So
much. Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah. And so really learning not to take rejections personally, not a rejection of you, but a rejection of the activity. Also, when I'm working with couples, rain checks, really talking about rain checks and how to put them in and how that works for the relationship, you know, and for them to come up with their own agreement that works for them. What works for one relationship might not work for another relationship. So, yeah. And okay. What do y'all want to jump in and say?
Yeah, I was going to talk about the rain checks, Natalie. So often when our partner tries to initiate sex, and we say no, like, they hear that as a permanent no, like just a full stop rejection. And I actually insist upon this with my couples who are struggling with initiation issues. The rejecting partner, if we want to say rejection, like, they must do a no, and like, no, and I'd like to cuddle, or no, and I think I'll be in the mood tomorrow. You know, there are some times where we would limit that with chronic pain or illness. Like, you know, it's not a directive, but I really encourage the rejecting partner to say no, and because that can help save some of that letdown for the initiating partner in that rejection.
Yeah.
It's not about you in this moment. It's about I'm tired or I've chronic pain. And I also want to mention something I've seen a lot with our clients as our culture is recognizing more neurodivergence than ever, which I think is amazing. There's also unique challenges for people with ADHD, PTSD, autism spectrum. There's so many challenges that comes in with sex and initiation and also like managing that rejection. So I want clients to keep that in mind. I recently had this with a couple of mine that were working on initiation issues. And I've been seeing them a year. They dropped I have ADHD. They dropped a bomb like after a year. And I was like, oh, that all makes sense now. And so, of course, it's not everything in the diagnosis, but there are unique challenges to that a lot of us carry that we need to talk about.
Definitely so. Definitely so. And you guys, they play an impact. And so I want you guys having the conversations for the total relationship, but make sure you also include how does it show up for us sexually? Like, how does it show up for us sexually? Because sometimes for whatever reason, couples think that sex is supposed to work differently than the rest of their relationship works. Yeah, like sex has its own special set of rules of how we show up and react as opposed to the rest of our life. So, okay, Jessica, what's coming up for you?
I guess I coming off of Frolicon and what that looks like, I think a lot of times we don't tend to want the things that aren't fun or aren't engaging. And so when we think about the sex that we're offering, are we tuning into your partner's wants and needs? And so like, what does that look like? Have you had conversations around that? And like, Amanda said with ADHD, sometimes we need more sensation in order to stay focused. Like we need novelty or, different things, a little bit spicier, a little bit kinkier, because it's hard for me to pay attention. And that's not a criticism for anybody. That's literally, I have a hard time paying attention when I'm eating food. I have a hard time paying attention doing anything. So like sex does not change that. Like it's not just for sex, I now have attention. And so like, we have to be aware of that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pivot the conversation just a little bit, still around rejection, but in that same vein of like losing attention, there's also a good amount of people who are initiating and their partner has no idea that they're initiating sex.
Yes.
No clue. No clue. All right. So we want all couples to have a conversation of what does it look like when you initiate? This is what it looks like when I initiate. My supervisor had the story of a lady who would try to initiate sex by saying, I'm going to bed now. Husband had no clue that was an invitation to go to sex, to come to bed with her for sex. No clue. And so years of hurt and he had just no clue, I've heard have I had, I can't remember a place that I've had just kind of in my training, maybe somebody tapping somebody on the shoulder and thinking that was a clear request for sex and the partner like not knowing at all. Like, oh, I thought you were just being friendly. I thought you just wanted to give me a hug, And so really talking about what's an initiation for sex, because some of you guys actually think you're being rejected and you're not. Your partner just has no clue you're asking for sex. Like just over their head. They were not clue. They were not clear that is the request you're making. Yeah. And so with a lot of my couples, we've talked about what exactly is initiation.
Yeah.
Like, what does it look like? How do you initiate so that you can be clear? And if you've initiated and you didn't get the response, can you guys have that conversation? Like, hey, this was me trying to initiate. How did it occur for you? Oh, I thought you were just like being tired or something. Like I had no idea this. Like it is so interesting. And we're talking about people who've been together for years and things. Also, I've had couples who this is real, you guys, who maybe rejected not their partner, but maybe a sex action or a sexual activity, because in their head, we shouldn't do that until we're married. or we shouldn't do that till later on. But there's no conversation around it. So the person just felt like, oh, they rejected that activity. They don't do that. So I don't even need to bring any new activities up at all in the relationship. And it's so interesting. I remember one couple, he was like, what? And it was oral sex. He was like when? When? And she was like, when we were dating, you said no. And he's like, I have no idea. It wasn't clear. It wasn't a conversation. And so I think with sex, with initiation in general, with introducing new things, you got to have a conversation. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. Hey, this is what happened. I want to make sure I'm reading that clearly. Like that, I think will cut down on so much stuff. Yeah. All right. What else are you guys thinking and coming up?
I'm still like mulling over what you were saying, like, because it's so true about, sometimes we interpret a one-time no or a conditional no, like we're not married yet, I'm not ready to do that, or just whatever, as a permanent no. And I think you're so right on this, Natalie, like that. And even just down to like one rejection about anything, like we can internalize it, and anxiety or whatever else can turn it, like when we say a mountain into a literal molehill, or a molehill into a mountain, and it breaks my heart. Like sometimes it's just, we need like a 5-minute informational conversation. Which is where we can come in and help facilitate that conversation as therapists. But so often these misunderstandings are like really small, but they become really, really big and last for years and years, which just breaks my heart for folks.
Yeah, it does. There's been so many times that partners have made facial expressions and it was misinterpreted, and the other partner got hurt. And it's all because people aren't having conversations. And so please have conversations. Please, please, please say, hey, I saw this. What was that about? And I just want to make you guys laugh. I was in the gym and this guy was making this weird face at me. And so I was like, hey, is everything okay? And he was like, oh, I got gas. I'm sorry about that. And so I was just, I was really like in my head, like, why is he looking at me like that? Like what's going on? And it was so funny. That's really just to me. Like, he's like, oh God, I have gas. And it was just like, oh, I'm sorry.
This is not about me.
And so like, I know, like, how many times has that happened with a couple, right?
Oh, sure.
That, like, somebody's internally going through something and you're looking at your partner like, oh, God, they must not like what I'm saying, or they don't like what I'm doing, or they don't like where I'm touching them on their body. And, like, we just kind of internally freak out, which is what I was doing, but, like, internally freak out. And so please, 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 just check in. Just have the conversation. Have the conversation. What is initiation? What does it look like? How do we start new things? How do we do new things? And so we want you guys just creating safety for each other.
I think a part of that is also defining things so that you have a common vocabulary, because even very, very simple phrases. So like I have a client where their partner, they say, I haven't done this, to express that they haven't tried or are not familiar with X, Y, and Z. And then the partner says, I don't do this, which to them, they are saying the same thing. So the person that's saying I don't is meaning the same thing as the person that said I haven't, but the person that said I haven't viewed I don't as hard limits. And so like, wait, I didn't realize that you were even saying that. So like, what is cheating? What is intimacy? What is initiating? What is transparency? What is disclosure? Like, all of those things need to have explicit definitions. And I even encourage some of my couples to write it out. Like make sure that it's black and white. You both sign it. There's a contract. You're renegotiating it every period of time. So like maybe this goes for a month or 3 months or whatever. And then you come back to it, because we need to have a common vocabulary.
Definitely so. Sorry. No matter what our conversations are, I feel like the main thing is conversations and communication.
Yes.
Like you've got to communicate in a world where it feels like we're talking all the time, that, everybody's talking about everything. there's a YouTube, a podcast for everything. It doesn't seem like couples are still really talking. And it's such an interesting dynamic when everybody's talking everywhere, and yet these intimate conversations are still not happening. So make sure you're talking to each other. Make sure you're talking to each other often, because what was true today may not be true tomorrow, you know? And so there are conversations you will kind of need to have over again. Like, where are you on that today? Where are we on that now? You know, if all of the kids are going to be gone, what's open to us now that wasn't open to us before? So, all right. Okay. What do you guys think healthy initiation looks like?
I think it is, for me, healthy initiation is clear. You know, we're just talking about like misinterpreting people's signs. Something clear or agreed upon. Like, this is our phrase for. I remember when my kids were really small, we had like a phrase we would use. So I think like good initiation is clear.
Yeah.
It's confident, meaning like back in that clearness category. And it's, I think, flexible, maybe, allowing for, maybe that's not the right way to put it, but being open enough to that no and, or pivoting, okay, maybe we'll connect tomorrow. So like I think there should be some flexibility in it if possible.
Jessica, what do you think?
I think it needs to be in advance. Like, hey, I would love to have some intimacy with you. What do you think about like sexy times tonight or intimacy tonight? So that it's not an immediate, I am asking you a question. And I've talked with this about with some of my clients before. A lot of people are not good at transitions. If I am not in the mindset of this is a thing that's going to happen, the amount of time it takes me to like shift gears and like move over here is a lot. And that could be interpreted as rejection, but it's not. It's I have to like, okay, have I done laundry? When was the last time I showered? When was the last time you showered? What chores need to be done? What else do I have to do? Like, how much have I eaten? How much have I drank? Like, those are all of the things that go on in my head if somebody's asking me about this, versus I know this is happening and can plan all of those things in advance in order to be ready by the prearranged time.
Definitely so. I would also like to say, for some of you, it might be also helpful to really think about, if I needed a transition, what are the things I could do to help myself transition? And it's a simple thing in life. For example, this is so odd, but I remember like when I'd wake up late, I'd just be like walking in circles because I couldn't figure out what to do because I'm late. And like I had to sit down and write down a plan for myself for like, when you only have 5 minutes, you will do this, this, and this, and you will get out of the house. And because I'd just be late and I'd be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And it made it so much simpler for my morning routine. Like it just did. And I don't know why my mind works like that. It's just like, I'm late. What do I do? And I'm working around in circles, losing time. I think if couples could figure out, okay, how do I transition? What do I need? If I needed to make a transition, if spontaneously, the parents came to get the kids and we were free, how could I make those transitions so that we can capitalize on that part, on that time? If I'm having a good physical health day, which is a thing for a lot of us, and I wanted to take advantage of that, how could I transition? What things could I do to set myself up for success? And so I think all of these things are things that could help mitigate rejection. And also don't take rejection personally, and you can ask more questions like, hey, I just asked this of you. I don't know if you understood me, or what did you hear? And then what would have made that better to get a yes? So if I wanted to get a yes, what would have made that better? And have the conversation. To have the conversation with a spirit of exploration, of learning us, of learning you, of learning how we operate best. That was a lot. Okay. All right. Closing thoughts.
I think it comes back to what we often talk about in our go lives and just in sessions is this is often a communication issue. And communication, it takes some bravery to like really put out there. And it takes some real like dedication to learning each other's communication styles. But I have never felt either in my own marriage or with my clients that more information was a bad thing.
Right.
Information is a good thing. So gathering up the courage, learning communication skills in therapy, like that is going to open so many doors with this conversation and so many others. And I guess my final thought is, often we have like a pursuer and a rejecter cycle that's happening. And it can snowball like so big that everything breaks down sexually. If you find yourself in that dynamic, call us, find a therapist. Because sometimes just getting the ball rolling is really intimidating with this communication work. But I know you can do it if you're listening. And we're here to help. So
definitely so. Yeah. All right, Jessica Renard, last thoughts.
I would encourage everyone as much as possible to try and work on the paradigm shift of it's not about you. Whatever happens, it's not about you. It's that person that cut you off in traffic. That's not about you. The person that is upset in the coffee shop, it's not about you. Your partner, it may not be about you. Unless someone specifically is like, hey, you treated me badly, or you were mean. It's probably not about you, or at least not entirely about you. And so like that frees up so much space to be your authentic self and to present authentically if we realize that most people are in their heads thinking about themselves and what they have to deal with versus other people.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, I have nothing to add to that. Nothing to add. That was brilliant. Because I don't want to mess anything up. And I think you guys both made excellent points. So we'll end with that. You guys have a fabulous Friday. It's summertime. So feel all the summer feels, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.